Hello, I'm attorney Jerome Carter, the managing partner with Carter Law Firm, and you're tuned into the Lawyer's Loft. I'm joined here with attorney Moshe Moore and attorney Freddie Stokes, and we're going to talk about the issues of personal injury and the way to a fair settlement. So let me start out by talking about what personal injury is, and I want y'all to jump in and talk about your personal experiences as well.
Absolutely.
Personal injury is when someone else has caused your injury and you have a right to be made whole. So, what we're talking about here is the way to get to a fair settlement. How do you get to a fair settlement? My thoughts on it. I'll share this with you. Been doing this for almost 20 years, and I've always found that the way to get to fairness is by being strong,
Right.
strength. And the only way a lawyer can really show strength is in the courtroom,
Yeah.
is litigating. Insurance companies deal with this issue all the time, and what I've learned is that if you can't demonstrate that you've been to court, that you've litigated issues before, then they're not going to respect you. So lawyers that only talk about settlement and resolving cases by settlement, then that's telling me that they've
Right.
probably not been in
Right.
court. So I know that there's a lot of different issues related to injury, and I think settlement is the easiest way to go about getting it. And I do try to get cases settled pretty quickly. But if you don't file a lawsuit every now and again,
Right.
then insurance companies just won't respect you, no matter how much you're on television, no matter how many funny little things that you come up with, no matter how many jingles that you have.
Right.
Strength is what is.
Right, absolutely. And I definitely would have to agree with that, even in my limited experience, working in personal injury. Seemingly, when I'm talking to an insurance company and I say my name, I get a much different response as when I say Jerome Carter's name. There seems to be a lot more punch with that, so I definitely would have to concur with that.
And I think there's a difference too in fair settlement in terms of what people think is fair and what we as lawyers know to be fair. Sometimes people will try to handle these matters on their own, and they're dealing with the insurance company, and the insurance company will offer them something that sounds like a
Right.
really great deal or a great offer, but without that representation and without that name and without that experience, people are really doing themselves a disservice by handling these cases without
You're exactly
legal counsel.
you're exactly on point. I tell people all the time, what's the difference between a person resolving the case themselves
Right.
and a lawyer? Well, you know that the person who was injured, they're passionate about their case.
Right.
Clearly, they want the best result that they can get. But insurance companies are only motivated by the skill set of the lawyer to get them in front of a jury. Juries are what they're afraid
Absolutely.
of. They're not afraid of Jerome Carter or Jerome Carter's reputation just as a lawyer. They're afraid of the skill set to get in court and be able to present to a
Right.
jury
Right.
the wrong that was inflicted upon the client and to be able to demonstrate that.
Right.
That's the real issue.
So without that risk, then there's little incentive for an insurance company
Right.
to truly be fair. So what a person may interpret as fair, they're not even really getting the full picture because there's no risk on the insurance company.
Despite
on that end.
how nice or welcoming or friendly that particular insurance agent or adjuster may be to you,
Right.
their job is to make sure that they give you the least amount of money for your injury that they possibly can. They're not really advocates of individuals who are injured in car accidents, especially when they have to pay the
Right.
money to make that individual
Right,
whole.
and that may be attractive for people who are injured right now, who are off work right now, and they need money in their pockets. So they may be inclined to accept something that's not fair because it's something at
Right,
least.
right.
But it's still a disservice in the larger scheme of things when we look at what insurance companies do when there is effective counsel on the other side. So
Yeah. One of the things about being a lawyer is once you have the case and you're moving forward and you file a lawsuit in the court system, well, the insurance company, they're going to find some lawyers who are just as talented,
Yeah.
just as motivated
Absolutely.
to defend them, you see. And that's in litigation. But before the case is even filed, before there's even a lawsuit filed, there are adjusters who deal with this, with injury cases and things like this every day, thousands and thousands of issues that they're dealing with. One of the things that I've noticed, Moshe, is we seem to deal with the same adjusters over and over again. If it's a State Farm case, we know who those adjusters are going to be. If it's some other carrier, we have a pretty good track record of knowing who we're dealing with. The adjuster that the injured party deals with before they hire a lawyer is a different adjuster than we deal with, because they're actually more hostile when they're talking to the client.
At the outset.
It's a passive aggressive. That's how they do it. So they'll tell them, well, we're going to go ahead and pay you this. If you bring your car down to the office, we're going to send you over here to this local agency, and they're going to take a picture of the car. And oh, by the way, we'll go ahead and pay you $500 just today, just to make it passive aggressive.
Right.
But when we get the case and we let them know we're going to represent them, they assign it to a different adjuster, because that adjuster knows the process and knows when a lawyer with the reputation and the skill set to get in front of a jury is dealing with the case. It's different. And so we tell people, don't try to negotiate, don't try to get involved with the insurance company, because I guarantee you it's like Little League trying to play against a major league team.
Right.
You just won't win. You just won't win. And I tell people all the time, you know, make sure you're represented by an attorney in that process, someone who is very respected. And you do that early on. I can't tell you the number of times I get phone calls from people who are saying 3 weeks later, yeah, my back hurt. Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, you know, I missed days off of work. And my insurance company is now giving me the runaround. But they were nice to me initially because they know that time has run for you to seek treatment and get an attorney. So we have to take those things into consideration as well.
Right, and aside from evaluating the risk and making sure that a person is compensated fairly, sometimes people aren't able to step outside of their emotions. They're upset, and they're speaking to someone in claims that's really nice, that they may feel has their best interest at heart, and they don't have our experience and our mindset in knowing that these people are about making money and keeping money.
Right.
So they're not about giving you money. They're not about just raining money on you, but they're about protecting their interests, and they don't work for the clients. That's why we have to work.
And we work very hard to make sure that we reach that fairness.
Right.
That fairness is fundamentally what we strive to achieve. We tell people and our clients all the time that it's about fundamental fairness. We're not trying to take away anything that anyone is entitled to, but we want to make sure that our clients are compensated for the actual injury. So one of the things to get to fairness is so that we can be able to articulate, to tell a jury, that's the standard, is the jury, to be able to tell a jury exactly how our client was injured. Well, we have a tendency to work hurt all the time. We will go to work after we've been in a wreck, and just like you said, Freddie, 3 weeks later, now it's hurting beyond the point that, and it becomes much more difficult for a lawyer to try and get to the fairness, because the client has not created the circumstances that we can show the injury. And it's about quantifying. It's about being able to turn it from what you say to how we can quantify, how we show from treatment and cost of treatment how you were injured.
So on a related note, I feel like we're talking mostly about automobile accidents right now without really saying so. But on a related note, when you talk about people going to the doctor maybe 3 weeks later or realizing that they're hurt a month later, what about people who have accidents in stores due to a storekeeper's negligence? Is there what can we tell them as to what they should do? What matters are urgent for them to attend to make sure that if there is injury or if there are damages that they can be compensated?
Excellent question, and it's a question that has to be dealt with all the time. Part of the education to our clients or potential clients, and part of this thing that we're doing now by educating people what steps they need to take to reach fairness, because fair isn't something that happens automatically. You have to work hard just to get to fair. And my mother used to tell me, you got to work twice as hard. I didn't quite understand, why do I have to work twice as hard as that guy over there? You just do, son. So I do that. I work twice as hard to make sure that my clients understand that the first thing they need to do is to record. If you fall in a store specifically, premises liability are very difficult cases. Slip and fall is what they'll call them sometimes.
Yes.
Because the police are not going to arrive and say, hey, it's a third party, we're impartial. When you fall in the store, it's the people that are recording the information are the ones that you would bring an action against.
Right.
Right.
So
and they write the narrative.
They write the narrative.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is just be aware, have some situational awareness of who is around you and what you can say. Seek treatment. You gotta go and seek treatment, because just telling me you're hurt isn't sufficient.
Right.
We have to be able to say, jury, my client was injured, they were responsible, and here are all the things that had to happen for them to be made whole.
And I want to shift, Carter, just a little bit here because we have just a little time remaining, is that once you fight for equity and once you get in front of the jury and once you get that settlement, I don't think that equity quite stops there. I think that there's a additional part to equity that we talk about in the legal world, and that is the individual is hurt. The individual missed days of work, they lost property, they lost their vehicle, and under no circumstances should that lawyer leave with more money than the individual who was injured.
Freddie, you stole my whole motive right out of that. Right. And I tell my clients when they sign a contract with Carter Law Firm that when this case is over, either by jury verdict or by settlement before we have to go to trial, that when you walk out of this office, that your check will be larger than my check, in no matter what the circumstances are. We make sure that that happens, because it's only fundamentally fair.
Right.
That's a beautiful segue into that end of it when you're dealing with lawyers. You may see some of the commercials that we have out there where we talk about don't get hit twice.
Right.
Well, people get hit in a car wreck, that's bad enough. Or they slip and fall in the store, that's bad enough. But then they go and seek professional help from lawyers, and the lawyer is charging them 40%, 45% on something that should not be.
Right.
So we tell our clients, day one, 33% contract, but we guarantee that when you walk out of the door, your check is larger. What does that infer? That we are reducing our fees to make our clients whole, to reach that level of fundamental fairness. So with that, we invite people to call us.
Absolutely.
And reach out and talk to us. We're here to help you and do whatever is necessary to make sure that you are made whole and we get to fundamental fairness. I'm Attorney Jerome Carter, and I'm here with
Moshe Moore.
Freddie D. Stokes.
And we are here to help you in any way that we can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.